Welcome back, and in fact on that note, let's also quickly take a look at more breaking developments that we are tracking from the site of the crash, where the probe and the investigation has been further strengthened. The NSG team has arrived at the accident site to help and remove the debris from the crash site. Meanwhile, other agencies including the NDRF and the Air Force, the FSL, Fire Rescue Force, AAIB, DGCA, all are present at the crash site as well. Anand Singh is there with us live on the broadcast. Anand, all the investigative and the security agencies have arrived at the crash site, and after the recovery of the black box, which contains, in fact, very crucial details, the NSG teams perhaps is also at the accident site. What more are you picking up?
Yes, Simran, look, the way in which the NSG team specifically arrived at the crash site, and I will ask my VJ to show you the visuals of the NSG team along with the team members of the DGCA, Air India engineering team also assisting them so that they can look at the most of the debris over here, and they need to rule out that if there is any conspiracy that is doing the rounds, that if someone was behind this crash. So the NSG team, that their post blast analysis team, they are studying, they will recover the materials from here, and they will study that whether any explosives were are there or not at the crash site, and if it was only the remains from the fuels that engulfed that kind of fire. So they will be studying all these facts, and they will try to rule out if there was any conspiracy angle involved in it or not. So clearly the team of Air India engineers are also here, the team that has been, the inquiry team that has been formed by the DGCA, they are also at the crash site. They are studying the tail. They are also looking at the entire rooftop and where the plane has crash landed, in which 241 out of 242 people had died, and they are trying to cover most of the debris over there so that they can take it back to the laboratory where they will study these materials, and they will try to understand that what was the reason that one of the most credible aircrafts, that is the Boeing Dreamliner, crashed in such a way just moments after taking off. So these are the questions that the investigators will try to answer. And even with recovery of the one of the black boxes, many of the things will become clear to the probe team, that how just 59 seconds after the plane took off from the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, that what was the reason that it soon landed, it crashed at a government medical college hostel over here. So clearly they will try to find out the reason, that whether there was any engine failure, whether it was one engine or two engine, whether it was some technical glitch, mechanical glitch, or any software glitch in the aircraft, or they will also try to find out that what went wrong, were there any wrong commands that were given by the pilots or the co-pilots. So all the things will be analyzed in detail by the team of investigators who are collecting all the data from here, and the black box will help them to ascertain many of those facts. So the team is continuously right now working on the tail, and they will also likely to remove this tail from the rooftop, and they will take it to the laboratory to understand that what was the reason that led to such a disaster over here. Back to you, Samrat.
All right, Anand, continue to be with us on the broadcast, as we are also sharing more updates, and we are tracking developments that are happening closely at the ground, at the very level where the probe has also been initiated. Family members of the foreign victims of the crash are flying in from London to Ahmedabad today. Remember, as many as 53 British nationals have been killed in this devastating crash, and apart from that, there was only one Canadian as well that was in fact killed during the blast as well. The tail of the Air India flight 171 hanging on the rooftop of the crash site now will be brought down by the teams for the further investigation today. On that note, I have my colleague Anand Singh joining me live on the broadcast. Anand, now 53 British nationals were also on board that plane. the families of the British nationals are coming, and what are the arrangements at this point of time to make the process smoother for the families who are in a distressed state to get in touch with the authorities about the whereabouts and the dead bodies of their loved ones?
Yes, Simran, look, even as 53 British nationals died in this deadly air crash, so the government of India and also the Gujarat government has made adequate arrangements to make a proper communication with them. So clearly, the Gujarat government already they had formed several teams and they had instructed the district collectors to inform many of the local people who had died in this deadliest crash. However, a special team has also been made by the government to assist the people who are traveling from other countries looking for their loved ones who have died in this deadliest crash. So clearly, adequate arrangements have been made, and we have seen earlier that how 4 of the IS officials were deployed on the ground by the Gujarat government to assist all the family members and look after the arrangements at the hospital. So clearly, those teams will be helping. In fact, the Air India, the carrier whose aircraft was involved in this deadliest crash, they had also issued a number for the families of the foreign nationals that they need to contact on that number, and the Air India has also said that it will be also trying to provide the accommodation and other facilities to these families, because these family members also need to give their DNA samples to the hospital authority forensic team over here. As this is a 16-member team, they need to provide them the samples, and then after 72 hours after ascertaining the identities of these families with the victims, their bodies will be handed over to them. And the government is also trying to make a proper arrangement to fly back those dead bodies to their respective countries, especially Great Britain, of which 53 people have died. So all these processes are being discussed, and as of now, as at the crash site, the rooftop is completely damaged, and the teams are working round the clock, especially the NDRF fire team and several from the Gujarat administration, RAF, and all. They are working on ground to remove the debris, and they are still looking for many of the bodies that they believe are just below the debris or the rumbles that have been taken down by this AI-171 Boeing Dreamliner flight. Back to you, Simran.
Well, all right. In fact, Anand, what we are also learning further is that the investigation